I'm going to go to Liverpool for a minute. We normally speak to you near the end, but Rack, I'm going to go to you first tonight. What did you make of Liverpool's performance this evening, mate?
Is he on time for a change? He normally comes in 20 minutes late.
Yeah, he got here early. Yeah.
It was pretty easy. There's no point sugarcoating it. Spurs made it easy for us, but we are very good right now. We're one of the best in the world. Definitely one of the best in Europe. And I don't think many people didn't expect Liverpool not many people expected Liverpool to go out at this stage. Don't get me wrong, obviously Spurs have their issues, they have their problems, they've got players out and all that kind of stuff. And we are one of the reasons why we're doing so well and we're making it look so easy is almost our entire squad is fully fit. And all of that credit has to go to Arne Slot. The way that we're playing at the moment, like Virgil van Dijk has played almost every game this season, but if you look at him, he walks through most games. So he's not covering masses of distance. When he has to play, he can put a shift in, sprint when need to, and that kind of thing. And when we need to turn it up, we can. But the vast majority of time, we play at a relatively slow pace, at least compared to recent seasons, and that's put us in good stead for up until now and for the rest of the season. And I couldn't have asked for anything else. It was pretty easy, and we move. We've got a game next at the weekend in the FA Cup against Plymouth. So play the C team in that, and that should be enough. Sorry, I don't mean to be arrogant, but Plymouth at the bottom of the Championship. So, and then we've got Everton next week. That is the next big game. If we win that, I think that breaks a lot of Arsenal hearts because they see all these big away games coming. And they think Liverpool, they need to drop points. Bournemouth was one of them last weekend. And if we beat Everton, I think...
Don't fall for it.
No, I'm not falling for it. I've said it consistently. I think we'll win the league anyway, but I think that will be the point at which I think a lot of them will give up.
Listen, I think you could be absolutely right on that. And of course, Arsenal fans are going to hope for that defeat. Of course, they would. Everyone would hope if it was the other way around as well. Speak to some more Spurs fans in a minute. Hussam, obviously a very big night for yourselves. Slot gets to his first final, a chance at his first bit of silverware at Liverpool in what could end up being a quest for a quad potentially this season. But before that, how impressed were you with your approach to tonight's game and your domination in the location? Sorry, George.
I'm not surprised. First of all, Mr. Box Office, I was telling people at Ainge at the start of last season when you were actually good. So let's not go there. That's a long time ago. Anyway, back when there were like 15 Spurs fans in every match reaction. Today is not a shock to me whatsoever. I mean, obviously, Kate is trying to be shameless with the 5-1 claims. At least I gave you a goal, but, it's literally a 4-goal difference. So I'm genuinely not shocked. I'm not even trying to little bro Spurs or anything, but I remember coming on the match reaction when we lost 1-0 to Spurs in the first leg. I said, see you at Wembley, Newcastle, and guess what? I'm going to see Newcastle at Wembley. All this bullshit about football gods and humility and stay humble and shit. Spurs are coming to Anfield in a midweek game with a 1-0 lead. Okay, mate, shiver me timbers. I said it 4 weeks ago, I say it again today, and it was proven right. As soon as Gakpo put the ball in the back of the net, it was game over, because you knew the second was coming, and the third was coming, and the fourth was coming. And we were absolutely brilliant. All the technique merchants, keep talking about technique when it comes to Mo. That second goal, that first touch and passing behind, so much for a goal-scoring winger who has no technique. Yeah, because someone with dead technique can do that, right? An incredible performance from Van Dijk as well in defense. Even without the goal, he was just absolutely incredible. Kelleher could have had shisha today, to be honest with you. It's literally 0 shots on target because just he had no hope. Because I had shisha and a drink and just sat there and just watched the game, to be honest with you, because they were just boxed in. And Ainge did change the tactics. He did defend, but thing that I kept saying pre-game, even to the Liverpool fans who were worried, I was like, guys, we literally play against a low block every week. This is just my regular life. Ipswich low block, Brentford low block. Next week when we play against Everton, it's going to be a low block again. Every team that plays against Liverpool plays in a low block. That doesn't mean we can't unlock it just because it's a low block, because we do have weapons in Salah. We do have weapons in Gakpo. I actually thought, that certain Uruguayan played well as well today. Gravenberch at this point is just, I don't even think there is words to describe him. But Terry's asking about the approach. I love Slot's approach for today's game because in the first leg, obviously, we started a bit of a weaker side because of the games that we had coming up. Now you're looking at the schedule. We have Plymouth this Sunday. So obviously in that game, I know every Liverpool fan who isn't edgy, Tom Little, is gonna want us to play basically the under 21s against Plymouth, and then go really strong against Everton in the league because that's the game that truly matters. If we lose to Plymouth, yay, it's a shock and all that shit, but I generally couldn't be arsed. Like I'm not gonna sit there, oh wow, like oh we lost to Plymouth, let me cry. Listen, when I say bigger fish to fry, we actually do have bigger fish to fry. Except I do expect us to beat Plymouth anyway, even with our under 21s. So this is going to be a long season. Slot's approach this season, and Terry did speak about it at the start, has been very smart in terms of rotation, in terms of rest. I mean, even today, he gave McAllister like 60 minutes off, and he just brought him on like at the end. Even when we were winning and it was confirmed, like, okay, it's game over, he brought off Salah. I love that. He brought off Van Dijk. I love that. So obviously he's resting his key men. I think there was a stat. Me and Tom did a show last week, and it was brought to our attention. Like we're the 19th team in the league in terms of like running and stuff. So we're not just running around. Like we're conserving our energy. You know, we're defensively solid and we're rotating well. So you have to give Arne Slot massive credit. And listen, I'm not one of those people who undermines competitions unless United win it, because the whole point of being a fan is undermining your rival wins. Yeah, but that's the whole point of football, innit? You have to undermine your rivals when they win something, or else this sport becomes
hang on, but just don't do it in front of Gary Neville, because he'll be onto the Premier League to make it a yellow card offence. So just be mindful of that, mate. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
But anyway, look, it's the final at Wembley. Newcastle will be an extremely tough opponent. I mean, Newcastle and you know, I don't want to say something too crazy, but they do have a horrible record at Wembley and a horrible record against us, to be fair. I think Newcastle fans, and they were in my chat tonight, they were like, this is the worst case scenario for us. They would have rather faced anyone at Wembley but us because of like the bad record that they have against us. But I'm very excited, very happy. It's a final. Hopefully we go to Wembley and win it. And if we do win it, it pushes us on and spurs us on, no pun intended, to go and do something this season. So I'm very happy. I literally have no complaints about a single player. Everyone was absolutely unbelievable today. All the players, the manager, even Anfield was rocking. Today, Anfield was like a European night. It was like, it brought memories back from like the Dortmund and Barca games. It was just absolutely rocking. It was intense. It was amazing. Richarlison got the crowd pissed off at the start of the game. You know, thank you, Richarlison. You get me for the assist. And yeah, I'm very happy. Very happy. Wembley, here we come. Anfield South.
Absolutely. Tom Little, do you agree with what Hassam has said there, or do you have a different view and take on this?
No, for once, me and him agree on one of these shows. Look, that was about as dominant as you could get. You know, I said a couple of weeks ago you saw the most dominant performance of the season against Ipswich, but they at least scored. They at least managed a couple of shots on target. 90 minutes, final against Newcastle on the line, and Spurs couldn't muster up a shot on target. 5 shots in the game, 0.17 XG. At no point in that game did I feel threatened. We were toying with them. I want to give, Hassam's got a lot of good players there. Connor Bradley deserves immense amount of credit for today. I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
The amount of energy he has, the decisiveness with his runs, he plays so differently to Trent, and it works so well with his skill set. I mean, he sets up the 3rd goal, but the amount of times he makes that little inside run between the fullback and centre-back, and no one knows who to go with. And if he just, it's hard to nitpick, but if his crossing just becomes a little bit more consistent, you've got an incredible right back there with so many aspects that you'd want. Sam said he didn't have any words for Gravenberch. I do. Best DM in the league. But there can't be any debate. There can't be any arguments. This has now been every single game this season. He has walked off that pitch as either the best midfielder or the second best midfielder. It's unbelievable how good he is. Van Dijk and Canate at the back today. I know he didn't have to deal with much, but anything that came their way, they dealt with. And going forwards, I mean, Gakpo and Salah on either wing is incredible. And Darwin Núñez, I know Hassam won't mention by name, but I thought he was actually very good today. And when he's not, ironically, when he's not having shots, I enjoy Darwin Núñez a lot more. When I'm not seeing him blaze efforts constantly, and I'm seeing this focus on more of his all-round game, on more of his off-the-ball game, on more of his link-up. I see a very good footballer at points, and today, you know, anytime one of the front three or one of the front four lost the ball, the guy chasing it down would be Nunes. Any corner that Spurs had that came in, the guy heading it away was always Nunes. And ultimately, the best part about today, it's not the fact that we got to a final. It's not the fact that the Aston Villa game's been moved either, which I think is a real big positive. Liverpool Football Club have scored from a corner. I cannot remember the last time we did that. And if you watched our corners in that first half today,
because Robertson didn't take it.
But Sam, let's not just put this on Robertson. Anyone who took any of them corners today, bar McAllister, put them either couldn't get past the first man, put it outside the box. We were better off in that first half, sending corners back to Kelleher. Horrendous. But at least we scored one.
Yeah, no,
I think we should try to seduce Nicholas Jover, bring him over to we actually win stuff, you know. The only condition I'd have for us, like getting Nicholas Jover from Arsenal, is Slot has to get him to sit his ass down every time there's a corner. If he gets up, I just want Slot to punch him in the face. Like, don't get involved. Just sit your ass down.
We don't need set piece coaches. They've dedicated their entire attack to set pieces. They've got murals.
You do realise though as well, though. You do realise that Sky purposely put the cameras on him. For that reason, I bet if they put the cameras on corners of your bench, you'd see certain coaches up as well. But I hear you.
We don't have a set piece coach.
You know,
we actually don't, by the way.
Deji, this has just come out.